you guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial on this purpley spring look. I'm going to be using the Morphe James Charles palette. This is a mini palette. I got it for Christmas from a really good friend of mine. Shout out Pamela. But anyway, yeah, the colors on this palette are super vibrant. I was really feeling these purple shades down here, so this is kind of the look that I came up with. If you guys are interested in how to achieve this look, then just keep watching. All right, so I've already started with my foundation and my eyebrows done. And starting with the eyes, I'm gonna use the NYX eyeshadow base. And I'm just applying that all over the lid. And for my transition shade, I'm gonna pick up this light pink shade. It's called Pinkity Drinkity. That's actually a pretty cute name for this shade. And I'm just sweeping it back and forth right in the crease of my eyelid. Next, I'm going to pick up this color, this purple shade called Single. And I'm just going to focus it on the outer corner of the eyes, kind of working in a circular motion and intensifying that shade. You can just pick up a little bit more and pack it right on top until you get the shade that you like. I'm also going to add some of that same shade, Single, in the inner corner of the eye and just packing it on top. And I actually went back and added a little bit more towards the outer corner just to make them a little bit more even. Then using that same little round brush, I'm just going to connect the two by going over the transition shade that we applied in the beginning and just connecting the two. Now I'm going to pick up this neon, almost neon looking pink shade. It's called Skip. And I'm just gonna pack it using a flat brush, right a little bit more towards the inner part of the eye, but right on top of that purple shade Single. And I really like how this turned out because it kind of brought some brightness to the eye and just make it a little bit more intense. I really liked it. And doing the same thing in the inner part of the eye, just applying that bright pink shade Skip and connecting the two shades together. Now I'm going to pick up the shade called Literally. This is more of a shimmery shade, and I'm just using a small flat brush and packing that in the center part of the eyelid just to brighten things up a little bit. And for my, I actually went back and picked up the Pinkity Drinkity shade that we use and just kind of blend everything out. I also wanted to go back with the purple shade and just flare everything out towards the outer part of the eye, just kind of creating more of a cat eye look. Now I'm picking up the color called Canvas, and I'm going to use that for my brow bone. So right underneath the eyebrow, we're just going to apply a little bit of that to bring some highlight to the eye. And I'm decided to do cream contouring. For this, I'm going to be using the LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is in the shade Light Ivory, and I'm just using that to normally where I would highlight my face right underneath the eye, as well as the bridge of the nose, the center of the forehead, typically where you would get the where the light hits you the most. And now I'm going to pick up a damp beauty blender or any type of sponge. This is actually not a beauty blender, it's just a sponge. I'm just used to saying that. And I'm gently just tapping the concealer and blending everything out. Now I'm gonna use the Morphe translucent powder to set the concealer, and just using a dry sponge, I am sweeping it right underneath where we're actually right on top of where we applied our concealer, just to make sure that we don't have any creasing. And now using one of these fluffy brushes, I'm just sweeping it right across underneath my eye, just to get all that excess powder off. I really didn't let it sit for too long. I just kind of immediately started brushing it off. Now I'm gonna go in with this darker shade for my shadow, and it's the color called Beautiful Bronze. This is actually a really dark shade, so I was a little nervous using it. So I'm just applying the slightest amount, and then you'll see, I mean, even just this little bit that I'm applying, it's really, really intense. So I really had to work on blending everything out. I'm using a small taper brush for this. You can also use a sponge, but I just decided to use, wow, you see? I was like, oh my goodness, what did I just do? But I remember I've used this before. It's just been a minute since I've done cream contouring. So all you have to do when this happens is just blend, blend, blend. I'm going back and picked up the damp beauty sponge, and using the same concealer that I had on the sponge already. It's just helping me by blending everything out. And don't be afraid when you know your shades are too dark or too light. You can always mix colors and blend everything out. That's really just, you know, you learn to do that when you make these types of mistakes with picking out certain colors at the store. Now I'm gonna contour my nose, so I'm just again applying the slightest amount in the sides of my nose and right underneath. I'm not sure what that part of the nose is called. And I'm using a small brush just to blend everything out, and you want to bring it all the way down to the front part of your nose and all the way up to where your eyebrow is, and just continue to work that brush until everything's blended out. I think this really helps with defining your nose and making it a little bit more slim. Now I'm going to go back and use the Beignet powder. This is a banana shade. It's a little bit, has more yellow undertones, and I'm gonna clean up some of that contour that we did. So I'm just gonna let it sit there to brighten things up. Now I'm using the blush in the shade Peach. The Fit Me blush. This actually has a nice sheen to it. So really pretty for the summer and springtime. Now using a stippling brush, I'm going to remove that excess banana powder, and you can see that it brightened things up underneath my cheekbone. And for my eyeliner, I'm going to use the liquid eyeliner, the NYX Vinyl Matte Liner. So I'm just going to create a nice little wing here, and we'll do that on the other eye as well. Now I'm just going to apply some mascara before we add our lashes. I can't remember the type of lashes that I'm using here, and yeah, I was listening to music, so I was feeling it. But just any cute wispy lashes will work for this look. All right, we got both lashes on, and I just usually do this to try to help the glue dry. I don't know if it really does or not, but now I'm gonna use this pencil. This is the NYX Wonder Pencil in the color Light. I'm gonna use this to put it on my waterline. Rather than going with the black shade for my waterline, I wanted to keep things bright because we are using brighter colors. So I really like using this pencil for the waterline. It just gives it a more, your eyes just open up a little bit more. And now picking up the purple shade that we used, the color Single, I'm using a pencil brush, and I'm just applying that underneath the waterline, and I'm also gonna pick up some of that bright pink shade in the color Skip underneath and just applying it kind of towards the center of the eye. And here I picked up the shade called Sister. This is kind of a gold shade. I didn't show a picture of it, but it's one of the little gold shades, and just applied it to the center of the eye. Now I'm just popping on some mascara on my bottom lashes, and we are almost done with the eye look. Actually, that is the step for my eyes. I got some mascara on me. All right, so now I like to go back and finish my eyebrows. I'm using the NYX eyebrow gel in the color Espresso, sorry. And you can see it really makes a difference on your eyebrows. I always wait to the end to apply this, just because if you're using different setting powders or bronzers, usually some of that powder gets on your eyebrow hairs, and the eyebrow gel just kind of finish things off. Now I'm using the e.l.f. setting spray and just applying it all over my face to set everything. All right, now for highlight, I'm gonna use the NYX Illuminator. This is in the shade Enigmatic. That's pretty cool. And this is more of a pink sheer highlight, and I'm just applying that on my cheekbones. And I also like to apply it on my nose, kind of on the button of the nose. I used a brush and I noticed it didn't really intensify it, so I went back and I used my finger. And I just this is my favorite place to add highlighter. I just think it looks pretty cute when you add it. I'm also adding some on the temples of my face. And really you can just, add it all over if you want. And for my lips, I'm using this lip pencil. I can't remember the name of the shade. It's a Rimmel brand. It's from the Rimmel brand, but I've had this pencil for so long. You can see how short it is because I've sharpened it so many times. So I really love the shade, and I'm just using it to line my lips. I do slightly overline them. Very slightly, and don't be afraid to do that. Who cares? Obviously don't go too crazy by overlining it, but I just let the color slightly go over my lip line. I'm also gonna fill in the corners of it just to kind of create a little bit more of a plump lip look. And now I'm gonna be using the NYX Lingerie lip. This is actually a liquid lip in the shade Baby Doll. And I'm just applying that in the center part of the lip and just tapping it on. I'm gonna be using my finger just to blend everything out. And you can see it kind of creates almost like an ombre look, to where it makes your lips just a little bit more plump. Now I'm going to be using some lip gloss. I don't remember the shade or the type of lip gloss it is. I'll link it down in the bottom bar, but I'm just applying it a little bit in the center of my lips, and again with my finger blending everything out. And that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.